So we'll be going through all things foam roller and muscle release, self-muscle release today. So if you want to learn a little bit more about self-muscle releases, carry on watching. Jump on and give you guys a couple of tips again today of some ways that you can actually look after yourself whilst we're still in lockdown and take these skills on to a later date. And so what I wanted to talk about today was all things to do with muscles as regards to injuries. So personally, when I work with my clients in the clinic, I don't do huge amounts of muscle-based work. Now, there are a couple of reasons for that. My main thing to look at with my patients is the way that the skeletal system and the nerve system basically work and interact with each other in order to allow for correct movement and function. However, that being said, with pretty much every single joint injury that we ever see, there's almost always going to be some sort of muscular involvement. And so it can be really helpful when our clients actually take action themselves as well. So with regards to obviously your chiropractic care, muscular care can actually really help alongside. Now, there are a couple of things that I recommend to a lot of my clients on ways that they can actually start to impact and actually improve on their muscle system themselves. Now, personally, I always feel that a therapist will find your muscle tension much better than, say, for example, yourself. However, that being said, you can still get in, and there are a couple of pieces of equipment that you can really easily use that will actually help for you to manage your musculoskeletal issues at home. So there are two pieces of equipment that I almost have always kept in my shed or in my garage, in my office, whatever, under the bed, for helping me to release muscles or tension. Say, for example, if I've had a really heavy workout, or I've been sitting at a desk for a long period of time, or haven't been moving properly and things are starting to just feel a little bit stiff. It's always nice that when you can't get in and immediately see your practitioner and you maybe have some level of pain or tension, that you actually have something that you can instantly go to without having to rely on somebody else. Now, the two pieces of equipment, they've got some slightly different benefits depending on obviously what it is that you want to achieve. Now, the first one is the trusty foam roller. Now, these things have been hanging around now for about 10 to 15 years. And the premise of the foam roller is it allows you to massage or roll out the connective tissues of large volumes of muscle at any one period of time. So say, for example, with the foam roller, it's brilliant if you want to massage the whole of the leg. And the reason being is that the contact point on the foam roller is very large, and with all the little dimples that are in the side of the foam roller, it allows to almost knead into the muscles and break down those connective tissues and that scar tissue that you may have built from being inactive or overactive over a period of time. However, there's another piece of equipment that I've pretty much always kept as well, because it almost serves equally as well. And it's got a slightly different benefit, and this is the lacrosse ball. Now, the lacrosse ball is a very small and firm ball, which allows you to get into really small areas. So say, for example, with the foam roller, it can be really difficult to do some self-myofascial releases around the neck and the shoulders. Whereas with the ball, because it's a lot smaller, we can actually start to fit it into areas a lot easier. So there are benefits and negatives to both. Now, the reality of it is as well, is that both of these pieces of equipment are incredibly cheap. Now, the advantages obviously with the lacrosse ball is it simply can fit into anybody's gym bag. Nowadays, most gyms will have a foam roller. So it's very easy to use the foam roller before or after a workout in order to actually help to massage and release some of that tension in the muscles that you've already created from doing the workouts. However, most places will not keep one of these. And so say, for example, if you've been doing a shoulder or a chest workout, sometimes the foam roller is not as good to use and you may want one of these. Now, in order to use a foam roller or a lacrosse ball, it really is as simple as this. What we're going to do is we're going to actually find those knots or adhesions, which is essentially scar tissue in the muscle, and we're going to use these firm objects to basically kind of rock between them and break the tissue down. So say, for example, if we wanted to use the lacrosse ball and we wanted to use it on our neck or our shoulders, all we would simply do is take it to a wall and actually lean against the wall with the ball. And we just try to find those tough or sore spots. Now, this isn't the only place that you can actually use one of these. You can pretty much use this anywhere across the body. Say, for example, if I wanted to, I could drop this all the way down to my lower back and I could work down here. I could even turn towards the wall and put it to my chest and even do stuff like that as well. Now, another really simple way of doing it is, say, for example, we can pin it to the wall and we can actually move the muscle underneath. So now the ball doesn't have to move, the muscle moves for us. So there's some really simple ways. If you want some tips or hints on how to use these things, if you want some specific areas or there's some specific areas of tightness that you want demonstrations on how to use these, just hit us up. You know, you can send us a message on Facebook, you can send us an email. The majority of you should have been receiving emails from us if you're a client from the clinic. You just easily hit respond to those emails and I'll easily be able to send you a video back just showing you how to use some of these things if you've got some particular areas that you want to work on yourself. So fingers crossed you guys are finding some value in the content that we're sharing with you. And yeah, if you need any more information, just hit us up. Nice to speak to you guys and see you soon.